Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Mirror Moment three-step challenge, right? When love ends after divorce or breakup, peace can begin. Oh, man, listen to me. If you're out there struggling, what is up? You're out there struggling alone, right? Suffering in silence. I want you to tell you that you don't have to do that anymore, right? My name is Geoff Tyson. I'm affectionately known as the Comeback King and founder of Comeback King Enterprises, who's sponsoring these webinar series, right? And so today, oh man, it's not going to be a lot of hype. I've got a few notes here I'm going to read through, and then we're going to get to why you're here today, right? And it's not about hype. It's about healing and getting some structure. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's help healing, feeling better about yourself, healing, beginning to a new journey. That stinking thinking no longer has got you trapped in this funk and doing things that you say you're not going to do and you continue to do them and punishing yourself for things that you need to forgive yourself for, not surrendering to the fact and letting go of a situation that needs to be let go of. But this mirror moment, man, is powerful because it's something you can do. We can even do it together on this call, but we don't have time, right? But I can tell you how to do it. Right. And then what's going to happen is that all of a sudden you're going to find finally you found the right cat. They can help you get off the crazy, get out of the insanity, doing things over and over again, expecting the results to be different. So anyhow, I just wanted to introduce myself like I did, and then affectionately known as the Comeback King. I don't know if I mentioned that to you or not, but I want you to know that you're in the right place. And to help me out, if it's okay with you, I'd like to ask you some permission for a couple of things. One, I need you to participate. Let me know what's going on in your heart. Let me know what's going on in your spirit. Let me know that this is resonating with you so that we can make things happen and get you in that space that you're looking for, that calm and peace. No more chaos. Hey, listen, I qualify and you'll find that out. So when I talk about chaos, when I talk about insanity, I qualify. I've been through that. It's been over 20 years ago. And in those 20 years, man, I've experienced some tremendous things, right? From heartbreak to healing and pathways to extraordinary love again, man. It started with loving myself first. Oh, boy, guys, are you hearing me? Loving oneself first. That's a necessary thing before anything else can happen. Anyhow, so let me show I'm staying on here. There's so much around this conversation. But the mirror moment, it's amazing. It's amazing. So if you're ready to stop carrying the quiet weight, suffering in silence, then you're in the right room, right? So let's get busy. Let's get started with this process here. And again, we'll get through it as quickly as we can. There'll be time for questions, but you have to participate. And please listen to me when I ask you this. I want you to be listening. Put yourself in this conversation. I want you to lean into what we're talking about. I want you to stay tuned. Put your phones down unless you're taking notes. Tell your friends, whatever. Don't bother you. But let's just, you and I, in this space together. All right? Can you do that for me? All right. I'm counting on you to do that for me. So let's do this thing. So let me know as you come in where you're coming from and how we might be able to help you. So here we go. Slide number 1. Mirror moment. It's a 3-step challenge to start your healing journey. You got to start sometime, fellas, right? My name again is Geoff Tyson. I'm affectionately known as the Comeback King and founder of Comeback King Enterprises, where our mission is to, flip the script and transform, oh man, folks from heartbreak to healing. That's thinking into truth, right? The roadblocks and the bad memories, all that into peace, and taking you from isolation into community, right? Oh boy. So anyway, let's get started. So the mirror moment, the 3-step process. All right, guys, let's go. So who is this for? Because everybody wants to know, is it for me? Why am I stopping in here? Well, I'm going to tell you, if you fit in any of these points here, which there's 4 of them, plenty of opportunities for you to fit, then yes, you are. And you may not think so, but I encourage you to still stay with us and go to this, right? So what's it say? High-performing men who look strong on the outside but feel heavy, right? You know how you are. You know who you are. I'll tell you are. Leaders, entrepreneurs, business owners, right? Young men, old men, fat men, skinny men, built men, all kinds of men carrying the silent pressures that you don't know where to take it. You don't, not sure how you can get some help. Not sure if things will ever change, man. I'm here to tell you they can. Men who are tired, men who are tired of the stinking thinking. Yeah. Ooh, baby, turn that stinking thinking into truth. Begin to change your direction, change the trajectory of the conversation you're having with yourself about yourself. And let's get ready for some healing, baby. Some real healing. Oh man. From a practical standpoint. You know, it's not rocket science what we're going to be talking about, but it's real. Anyone ready to stop living as a dressed up garbage can? You probably wonder, what do I mean by that? Well, let me give you an example. Right? On the outside, everything looks great. You got the fancy house, fancy cars, or whatever it is that you are using to kind of keep the mask on for yourself, right? And whatever that is for you, you know what it is. Put it in the chat or think about it in your head. Let me know what it is. And on the inside, you're just like a garbage can, man. All the feelings, all the emotions, just funky, stinking, painful feelings, man. But people ask you how you doing, and what do you say? I'm fine, man. I'm dealing with it. I'm okay. Whatever you're telling yourself. Drop it in the comment section. What do you tell yourself when you know it's not true? How does it make you feel when you can repeatedly tell that lie? Tell you something, man. It doesn't have to be that way. So, who's it for? We already know. We just talked to you about that. Let me start with a simple question. Now, I like to just kind of get things going with the simple question. When was the last time you told yourself the truth about this situation? With no mask, got raw, man. Just told yourself the truth. No muscles, no I'm good. Just, this is what I'm really feeling. Let those words sink in. This is what I'm really feeling. And that's where, oh man, that's where the freedom begins, fellas. Where you can find a place where you can really talk about things that are important to you. Where you can find a place where you can just finally let your guard down and know that you're in a safe zone, right? I get it. That we're meant to be strong. We're meant to keep that image going on. We're not meant to surrender. We're confused about some of the words we hear, like surrender. We're confused about vulnerability. We're confused about those two words keeping us stuck, not realizing the power in those words once they're exercised with confidence. Vulnerability, surrender. Powerful, powerful words, right? So, anyway, think about that for a moment as we continue to move through this thing, right? So the next one I got is this. In order to heal, and that's your participation in this. You got to participate. Get your pen or whatever you're using, your phone. In order to heal, there's a little humor on this. In order to heal, I need to do what? Drop it in the chat. But you could, and these comments, if you're paying attention, you'll realize that these comments are really kind of like not really. Well, they might be for you. Look at it. Be stronger. How's that working for you? Right? Talk about being stronger, talk about just acting like nothing's wrong, pretending stuff and all that nonsense. How's that working for you? Work harder. You're already working yourself to the bone, right? Taking on new responsibilities, raising your hand for new promotions, burying yourself in the work because the money's good, the lifestyle is good. But how are you? Right? Ignoring the pain. I need to ignore the pain, pretend like it's not happening. Pray more. Yeah, that's good. You should do that. Absolutely. If you believe in God or whoever you believe in, pray. If you don't believe in God and whatever that energy source is for you, right? Connect yourself with that. That's a bonus. That's one real one, right? Stay busy. No. Man up. That's man. Fellas, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Listen, I understood how it was to be the man in the house, to be the man, the boys don't cry, all that crazy nonsense. But I'm gonna tell you something. People may argue with me about this, but I'm going to tell you, man, the moment you can let your guard down, the moment you can step into your authenticity, the moment you can be comfortable in a vulnerable space, you're opening up some doors you never thought you could open up. So, what is it in order to heal I need to do? I'm gonna give you an idea. One of them is just raise your hand and ask for some help. Find the mirror, right? Look in the mirror, man. This is even before we get to the process. Just look in the mirror and see who's looking back at you. And then ask this question: are you happy with that person? Really? Are you in touch with how that person is really feeling that's looking back at you? Has it impacted how you feel about yourself? Has it impacted you physically? Has it impacted you emotionally? Yes, and yes, and yes. Financially, maybe not, but it will eventually, right? In order to heal, I need to fill in the blank, man. Right? So important. That was a that yeah, I need to I just need to surrender some stuff. Anyway, hey, while that may be true, Geoff, and we're talking about the next one, healing really comes from trying harder. You already get the idea that well, we know that that's not true, right? Healing rarely comes from trying harder. Most men do not need more willpower. Right, we got enough willpower, right? We got enough nonsense going around that makes us think we can invincible. We can do whatever we need to do, right? Sometimes, fellas, we just need a new set of framework, man. We need a new perspective on what we're doing. Because what we have been doing, what I was doing when I was caught in the insanity was not working. Little by little, I was giving away myself, trying to save a relationship that I knew, I was told no. I mean, this wasn't going to happen, man, but I didn't want to lose it yet. So I subjected myself to some things that, I they weren't good for me, but I didn't know it at the time. What are you doing that's not good for you? How are you healing yourself? How are you pretending like you're healing yourself? How's your framework working for you? Right? You know what framework I'm talking about. More work, more crazy ladies, or not. Someone that's really kind, but you're not really ready for a relationship, whatever that might be. So today I'm going to give you a mirror moment that helps you see the pattern, break the loop, and rebuild it. Rebuild your comeback. So what are we going to do? We're going to give you new patterns. Well, gotta see the old ones first. You gotta be willing. Listen, if you're not willing to have a conversation, if you're not really willing to do anything at all, because there's three things that you have to really be willing in the spot to be able to do to make anything work, to make any change possible. And you're gonna have to be really honest when you have that reflection with yourself. Really be honest to the best of your ability. And sometimes we've been lying to ourselves so long that that's really hard to do. So we keep making some justifications and rationalizations about how things are, and then we just stay in the state of denial. Honesty, you got to get real raw and honest, right? And number two is open-minded to what Geoff is talking about. This mirror moment, for those of you like wondering what the heck I'm talking about, if this thing is really able to help me or not, right? And then willing to do some work. Got to do the work, baby, right? This is not, this is not an easy get out of pain free, get out of jail free process. No, I never would say that to you. You got to do the work, but the work is worth it. I'm gonna say it to you again. The work is worth it, right? There's one promise I can tell you, man, and it's this. The first part, you can just get honest with yourself about the situation. Oh, that's ooh wee. Because until you can do that, man, you really stuck like Chuck. So patterns, breaking the loop, that vicious cycle over and over and over again, right? And then the comeback. You know for sure, right? So so let me ask you another question. Hey, listen, there's gonna be some questions I'm gonna ask you. I told you from the beginning. I asked for permission to ask you some questions. They may feel a little personal. They may make you uncomfortable. If they do, I'm not going to apologize for that because that's part of this conversation. It's not an easy conversation to have, and I don't do you any good by just dancing around the real issue. That men we cannot heal until we start to peel. Got to get the mask off. We already talked about it. So let me ask you a question. If I could help you find peace tomorrow, if I could help you find peace tomorrow, you know what peace, I mean, hearing the word for those of you that are really caught up in the insanity, it's like, man, it's got to make you feel good. Just the possibilities of the peace. right? Wouldn't it be? Hmm. Wouldn't you want a simple way to protect it and keep it? I know the answer to that question, but I got to ask it because it works out well. What wouldn't you want to know that? It's a yes or no question. Wouldn't you want to know that? So I really hope that you're hearing me when I talk to you about this stuff, right? Let- If I could help you find peace, would it be worth would it be worth surrendering some of this egotistical stuff that we have as men? Would it be worth being vulnerable enough to say, hey, maybe this is something that can help me? Would it be worth often being just a true man that shows himself in pain and be comfortable? Because it's going to be a safe zone, baby. What's it worth to you? Oh man, success won't heal what you refuse to face. I already said it, you can't heal what you don't peel. Right? As long as you stay in denial, you already know this. The outcome's going to be the same. It could get worse, right? Because listen, eventually the body breaks down when you're carrying too much crazy, right? Right? It's been proven. Your organs, your heart, your kidneys, your liver, all those things that are designed to help keep us alive, man, they can only take so much, right? You're built to lead, right? So success won't heal what you refuse to face. And I have a couple bullets in there, so let's read them together. You're built to lead, provide, protect, and still be emotionally whole. Man, yes, we are, but I'm telling you, there's a better way. There's a better way, right? You get strength from surrender. You gain strength from vulnerability, right? Healing isn't soft, it's leadership, right? For you A type jokers out there, nothing hurts. I mean, I don't know. I can't say I'm exempt from that mental perspective as well, but I'm learning. I've learned, I should say, how to embrace what I'm talking to you about, man. And I'm free, baby, just like you can be. Your comeback isn't just personal, it explains your purpose. So think about that for a moment. It's not just personal only, it explains your purpose. It's figuring out when you're making it through this comeback this time. What are you going to change? What are you going to learn how to do differently? What are you going to never do again to find yourself in this situation? Those are things that kind of explain your purpose. Maybe you're the kind of cat that's like, hey, you don't care. Well, there's some people I've met like that, man. I can, hey, I don't judge. It's not for me to judge. So success won't heal what you refuse to face. You got to be prepared to face some things. You got to be willing to do some work. You got to be open and honest about what it is. Man, there's freedom. There's freedom in that space, baby. Oh boy, oh man, yeah. Let's see what we got here. You can't out achieve what you don't heal. This kind of sounds repetitive, doesn't it? You can't out achieve what you won't heal. Right? I mean, if your leg is broken and you don't get it fixed and you're walking around, sooner or later that leg is going to just continue to deteriorate. Right? If your heart is broken and you don't deal with the emotions, sooner or later there's going to be other issues that show up. Right? That's why we talk about from heartbreak to healing. And that's why we talk about pathways to extraordinary love again, man. How you find those pathways, right? So you can't out achieve unhealed pain. These each one of these sessions, man, there's these bullet points we can talk about for a very long time because there's so much denial wrapped around there, so much confusion around what will they think of me? Who will I become if I show some vulnerability? Ha! Ooh, baby, you become a whole lot better person. Performance becomes a mask. Science becomes a prison, right? Performance becomes a mask. That's point number two. It's already a mask. I already told you, right? It's already a mask. And performance becomes that silent prison Then you're walking around, you're in this almost like a comatose state, but you're moving around, you think you got it grooving on, you're traveling, you're killing deals, you're buying houses, all whatever it might be that you are running in the grind for. It's just keeping you stuck in there, baby. Right? If you're honest, you've been carrying things you've never processed. So that's the hit. Listen, you've never processed. I'm not just talking about the situation you're in now with the breakup or divorce and all the pain that goes along with that. I'm talking about the things that you still keeping captive, right? And we talked about that prison that you're still holding on to, that the stinking thinking brings up every now and then, and you work harder to ignore it. The thinking brings up every now and then, and you pretend like everything is okay, right? You know when your feelings got hurt when you that first relationship, that girlfriend or whoever you dating broke your heart, broken heart, right? It's not a good feeling, man. I remember my first time, girl broke my heart. I'm like, I would never let that happen again. Have you said that, fellas? Right? And for years, my relationships were unmanageable. I was self-centered. I kept myself guarded. I learned how to be that dressed up garbage can with guards around me. I never let anybody get close to me until I had to do something different, man. How are you doing with that? Are you approachable? Are you using silent treatment, some of the other things we use to kind of keep them at bay, right? And here's what I'm gonna say to you. You're not gonna like what I'm about to say to you. Usually, fellas, if you're dealing with some people right now, men or women, whatever your preference is, and they're really getting next to you and allowing all those other things, sick people attract sick people. Hurt people attract hurt people, right? So if you're not healing, oh baby, woo, chances are the relationships that you are in right now are not the best relationships to be in because you gotta get connected with self first. But anyway, that's come on, man. If you're honest, you've been carrying these things that you've never processed. I'm just gonna leave that at that. What are those things? I want you to start writing those down. You know what they are. It's time to write them down, baby. Time to get them out in front of you. They die in the exposure of light. Secrets die in the exposure of light, right? When you put it on paper, it becomes real, but you begin the freedom process, right? So my aha moment, right? You wonder, man, who is this cat talking to me about? Why should I listen to him? Listen, I flipped my thinking and built a healing first approach after I got my butt whooped, right? When I realized, man, that there's got to be a better way. The things that I'm doing, like we're talking about, compromising my own well-being just for the sake of not being able to let go, not being able to hear what she was telling me, just wanted what I wanted. I just didn't want it to be over, so I subjected myself to. I had a good time as long as I could, right? Man, but in the ball at night, in the ball, curled up in the ball, because I missed her. I missed the relationship. I missed the marriage. I missed my son. Right? All of those things, man. And I had I had the toys that I thought would be enough, but they weren't. Right? It's not about the image first. It's not about the grind. It's not the image. It's not the grind, man. It's the healing piece first. So I've been blessed over the years after working with myself, and even before that, working with folks that we're not going to broadcast their names. I'm not going to tell you all the success stories that are private situations that I did when I was doing another business. It was just something that I was exposed to because I felt called to do it, right? Because when the inside gets healthy, leadership gets lighter. So my aha moment was when I finally said, "Oh man, I can't. I deserve more," right? And I began to put new things in practice. I began to really take a look at my behavior, my patterns. Pattern recognition is such a powerful thing, right? Once you recognize the pattern, then what's that really mean, Geoff? What's the triggers that's sending you down that road? Why are you still doing the same old things that you said you weren't going to do? Remember how you felt when you got home the night before? Remember how you felt, right? Recognizing those patterns, man. You need some help, right? Working with some cats that had years of experience around the situation, right? Because when the inside gets healthy, leadership gets lighter. For those of you who are leading out there, leading yourself becomes easier to lead yourself, not your job, not your associates, not yourself. That piece becomes easier because you're starting to regain some controls on your behavior. You're starting to regain some alignment with your pattern selection, right? Yes, your heart may be broken, but your commitment to yourself is a little bit stronger. So one day at a time, one piece at a time, you begin to reduce some things, man. Find that. The mirror moment is the starting point. Yep. It's the starting point. So let me show you what that looks like. But I'm gonna tell you something before I do that. Hmm. If you're really not certain, but you know what I'm saying to you might have a little bit of truth to, then hang on, right? Hang on, baby, because there's more to come. So this is where the comeback becomes real. I've watched men transform when they stopped hiding, started using a framework, right? They began to put themselves first. They began to put healing first. They began to peel off the mask. They didn't work as hard. They began to take some time off from work. They began to not be out in the streets hanging out and all these other things. They began to sit down and do some work, right? Some private time, some private conversations, right? They became comfortable in that space and in that environment, right? And then they did what I asked them to do, man, which is really powerful. I called it the mirror moment. When they became aware of it, the mirror moment heightens the awareness, right? Because you agreed that what you're doing is not working. You know that you can't continue to keep doing what you're doing. You know that there's only so many promotions you can get. There's only so many cars you can buy. There's only so many houses. Some cats can buy a lot that you can do before that whisper continues. It starts to dominate. So awareness, right? And then the release. Begin to get some releasing of the pain, right? And then the rebuilding process. So three things: awareness, release, and rebuild. So I've been in leadership, right, for over 45 years, man, and relationship mastery, right? And I'll tell you something. Goes back to some fundamentals, baby. When we become aware, when we become honest about our situation, and then we'll make more aware of the behaviors that we've had and figure out the triggers and all the other things and the outcomes that continue to be unfavorable to us, right? And then we start to release the guilt and the shame and the pain and all that goes along with stuff that we said we would never do, allowing ourselves to be subject to punishment, allowing ourselves to just whatever that might be for you. Think about that, and then begin the rebuild process. You know, like I told you before, I work with men off the radar, and right, and you'll be off the radar too, right? This is not glass and gas stuff, man. This is real. I would have never done what I'd done if I had, didn't have some privacy, didn't have a vulnerable, safe spot to go to. And we create that. I create that. You know, men that don't talk, don't post, don't flash and gas, none of that stuff, man. Just looking for some real talk, straight talk with love. If you're looking for real straight talk with love, you got to figure out by now that I'm that guy for that, right? I've seen what works. Create the safe space, talk truth, and then give you a framework, baby, that you are going to see. You're going like, man, why didn't I think of that before? Here it comes, baby. It's a mirror moment three-step framework. And you see number one, number two, and number three. I'm just going to highlight them, and then we go into great detail as we go through these information if you ever decide to link up with us. So anyhow, face the mirror. That's the awareness part. Look in the mirror, man. You guys know who I'm talking about. We're in there. You say you're looking in the mirror, but you're really not. You're kind of glancing around yourself. When do your eyes really see? That window to the soul. Your eyes, the window to the soul, right? Name the pattern. You got to start naming. So put some names on some stuff. You know, as leaders, man, we got to name our stuff. We got to have an objective and a goal. So name the pattern. Identify what the triggers are, right? And we do that together. Identify what the triggers are, and the story you keep rehearsing. You're going for the Academy Award, right? You're in the rehearsal every time you step out of that safety zone that protects you, protects your integrity, protects how your heart is, right? Awareness. Number two is to break the loop. Release, baby. Separate the shame from the truth and forgiveness. Right? Grieving. Let go of that old script. I'm gonna say grieving because that's such an important piece. Right there, man. When I finally realized that grieving was truly a gift, right? I found out before the divorce, so I was able to step into grieving. When I found out the grieving is necessary process to really get to the soul, to really get unhinged from all of the pain and get free, man. Grieving is such a powerful thing. Anyway, number three is rebuild the comeback. It's always about the comeback, baby. You know, we're transforming minds and spirits through the comeback, making the comeback a lifestyle, man. So installed identity, talked about it, boundaries, and the daily practices that stick. No more running back to her. No more calling. No more finding yourself in a situation where you just told you, yeah, I almost said it. No more of that. Hmm. So as I kind of wind down now, I just got to ask the question: has this few moments that we spent together been valuable? Type mirror in the chat if you get this recording, right? Put it in there. Is anything I've been talking about hitting home? Right? The insanity, the lack of excitement by the things that you used to do to keep you moving forward, right? We're frustrating at work. Your business is not satisfying you. The relationships with the other people aren't satisfying. At the end of the day, that voice is getting stronger. So look, this was only an hour, guys. Want to join me for a 90-minute breakthrough? It's only an hour, but I want to invite you to 90 minutes, 90-minute session, right? Expanding on the mirror moment. Man, breaking down the 5 A's to peace. 5 A's to peace, baby. You know, I already talked about some of them, right? And the magnificent comeback. So I'm inviting you to join me on the magnificent comeback. We do it together. It's a 90-minute live workshop. 5 A's, step-by-step coaching with prompts. We go through the exercises. You got to do the exercises to get better, right? You got it. Just won't change. No action, no results. Same results, no action. So anyway, 30-day comeback map, identity, boundaries, and daily practices. That map shows you, talks about the real identity that you want to become, that you want to have, the one you used to have before you got yourself in this situation. Daily practices and boundaries, right? Includes mirror moment worksheets, thinking prompts, and all of the other things, man. But it's going to be in 90 minutes deep, fully immersed in that stuff. Listen, that's a total value of 1997. I know I got 997. That's 1997 piece. But now today, man, listen, today 147. You're out. I think we have the link on here. Registration. Just DM me, right? You can get me anywhere on Facebook, Instagram, all that stuff. And let's get busy, right? If you can't reach out to me, having payment problems with that, do that. But 147 bucks for 1997 worth of value, man. But I'm gonna tell you something. My promise to you is this: you do the work. You just sit down and really get humble enough to do the first piece, right? The awareness piece. And look at the triggers. Look at the rehearsals. Look at what you're doing. Oh man, I'm just gonna talk that one by itself. That will change things right now, not 90 days from now, not over a month, visit every month for 12 months, whatever that is that you may be doing. Right now, we do this. And when that shift happens, when that pattern begins to go back to center, oh man, right? And plus, hang on, there's more, as they say. There's more, baby. If you have VIP access, And the VIP access is, look, access to me, more of that, more one-on-one opportunities, because we'll do a Q&A after the session, and that's when you have hot seats and all that other stuff. So we really talk through some things. And anybody that knows me will let you know that I don't just turn it on, right? Because I know how important it is. What a gift it is, guys, to talk to you about this stuff, to work with you about this stuff, right? I mean, man, you don't have to stay stuck. You don't have to be in that. You get the point, right? So access to training recordings. So that's $999. That's $1,000 value there. Lifetime access to the recordings. 30-minute discovery call bonus on top of that, right? And for those of you that hear this message, I make that 60-minute bonus call. Plus, you got another bonus 30-day accountability follow-up plan. What does that look like? That means every week we'll set something out, and then we'll touch base on Friday on how that went for you, right? Man, that's on the founders piece, baby, because I'm not going to be doing that for a long time. That's bonus. When you're talking about accountability, man, I'm going to be sitting there right next to you. So what did I tell you about making some changes? What did I tell you about having some results sooner than 1 year from now? What did I tell you about the possibilities if you come in here open-minded, if you come in here honest, if you come in here willing to do some work? Oh, man, come on, fellas. All right, and then VIP access to the summit, the Heartbreak to Healing Summits. Man, listen, we bring in experts from all over the world, 18 to 21 experts, and they talk through. If you're looking for something, there's 18 different ways to go from heartbreak to healing, pathways to extraordinary love. There's got to be bound to be one thing that you're going to get from that person, right? And that's huge, man. That's a $2,000 value. You get that. You get access to the VIP. So afterwards, the speakers hang around. We have some conversation. We do a Q&A, right? And some little prizes and all that other kind of stuff, man. So hanging out with some experts in all aspects. I mean, the last one we had like sexless marriages, and then we had man, acupuncture and healing the soul. I mean, we mix it up, right? We just want to make sure that you get all you need and honor the promise that I made, and I'm going to continue to make, that you show up, you do the work, right? In 90 minutes. In 90 minutes, you're going to see a shift, right? And some of you, look, I can't guarantee you everyone will. That's not what I'm saying. But if you're legitimate and you're serious and you're ready to make some change, you're ready to make a difference, right? If you don't do no work, don't come talking to me about nothing. It doesn't work. It won't work unless you do the work, man. Right? Because here's the hit: you give you full money back guarantee. 30 days, boom, money back. You show me the worksheets, you show me the exercises, we will have conversations. So, and for $147, no, it's not even that. What is it? What is it? What is it? Let me go back. Maybe it is $147. I was gonna make it like, a lot more than that. But my team told me, no, yeah, 147. Come on, man. Your life is worth more than that. Your peace is worth more than that. Your joy is worth more than that, right? And you get the copies of the replays and everything else like that. So I'm just gonna look. I don't know what else to tell you other than this. I do know what else to tell you. If there's any reason why you still hesitate, I must have not did what I was supposed to do and help you understand that what we have to offer can help you get free. And for that, I apologize. So if you do choose to go somewhere else, then please, please, please get some help. Don't do this thing on your own. Do not do this thing on your own. Right? 147, man. Come on, fellas. Let's get busy. Let's get busy. So I think, I talked about the magnificent comeback and A's and all that stuff, facts, action, gift. Oh, VIP upgrade. Man, am I missing something here? Wait a minute. 30-day comeback, map, infinity daily practices. That includes a mirror moment worksheet, king thinking prompts, right? Some prompts that really are designed to really kind of get you shifted. You got to have some shifts. You got to have some new triggers, right, to help you get yourself away from repeating the same old insanity. So I would encourage everyone, if they have any questions, DM me for any information that you feel like you still haven't gotten. And as I wrap this thing up, I always like to give you something to hear from me. And let me see if I have it here today. Mm, man, the results of surrendering, the results of getting honest, open minded, and willingness, going through the pain and the rebuild process allowed me to once again be married, man, to the woman of my dreams and be 15 years, right? And she came with a daughter, and our daughter has given us three grandchildren, her and her husband, man, and they have a family, and the whole thing is just amazing. And living way beyond what I could ever imagine from that curled up ball, hating myself, suffering from shame and guilt and all the other limiting beliefs about what I deserve, to living life full out. If that's you, take a look in the mirror. Make sure you look in the mirror and look at the eyes that are looking back at you and ask yourself, when's enough? If you got the right answer, let's get started with this program. Right? We're closing down the doors in another week, I think. So if you're hearing this now, take the action. DM me. We'll get you the link, getting set up, and let's go. Let's change. Your comeback starts now. Right? Let's line up together and begin a new journey. Because I believe you can do it just like I did. All right. Take care. We'll see you next time. And remember, you are worth it. You deserve peace. Let's get you some, baby. Come back, King out. See you later.